I'd like to share with you a little bit about how we do some of our storage, how we prepare in terms of organizing the freshwater and the black and gray tanks, and just show you around our camper Abbey. As you can tell, we have 2 batteries. And one of the things that always used to bother me is I had all these battery wires just hanging out. So I actually bought a couple of grommets. You can see them right there, those little rubber grommets right there. And I took a rubber grommet here, and there's another rubber grommet right here. And so what I do is I run the cables that come between the 2 batteries through those grommets, so everything's encased. So we have very few wires hanging out. I still have that one right there. But what we've learned to do is I have trickle chargers in our storage unit. We keep Abbey in a really nice storage unit, and I keep trickle chargers on it, and I never move the batteries anymore. I just check them for water, make sure the water's okay, and so we actually just keep the batteries in the camper. It makes things so much easier. A couple other quick things I'll show you. As you can tell, we have our cables here. I actually use a master lock on our hitch lock there. Just a little master lock. It helped maybe deter people from trying to steal the camper, but also it just creates some security when we're traveling. What else do I want to show you? Oh, I got these really cool D-rings that I bought on Amazon that I use for the safety chains, and they work really well. Then the last thing I'll show you on our propane, there was a recall on the Jayco regulator, but ours wasn't affected. We have 2 tanks, of course, and the one thing that I love is this little regulator I bought on Amazon. I'll try to put links in the video, but this little regulator right here is really great, and we have one on each. And as you can see, it actually shows that we have lots of propane in that tank, and it'll show, yeah, we have lots of gas in that one. So we'll probably need to fill up the propane tanks when we get back from this trip as well, because we haven't done that in a while. So on Abbey, we have two storage access panels for things that we use. We have one on this side. I'm going to go in and kind of show you. It's not really organized as well as I normally have it, but because we're in camp. But as you can see, I store our hitch and our sway bars in here at night. It's a pretty valuable hitch, and I do not leave it attached to the tow vehicle. But simply because if we go somewhere to a store or something like that, I just don't want it out there. So let me show you a couple things that I have in here. We bought a really nice DeWalt electric drill, and I use the bit that is for the stabilizer bars. And so it's a DeWalt 20 volt max. I bought this on Amazon. It was like $90. But as you can see, it fits right on our stabilizer, and I can put those jacks up and down pretty easily. Inside our storage, you can see I have my old-fashioned Craftsman toolbox from the 90s. In it, I keep tools and lube and plumber's tape, a couple of little great devices here. I love to have a pair of pliers. I've got a couple wrenches I use a lot, some screwdrivers. Whoops, one of my wrenches got loose. I have all kinds of assorted fuses. I have a Torx set, some bigger sockets here, bigger wrenches here, sorry. Keep all those little grommets. I keep my dielectric grease for all my connectors. I keep a ammeter there. So this is just a great little tool set. I would encourage you to make sure that you have sufficient tools to at least do a few things in your camper. I also have the leveling blocks that I'll put a link in the comments for you. I keep a pretty good size level. I probably should get a smaller level. but I use a pretty good size level. We keep a wood block in here with things just to kind of keep things off the floor of the camper. I also keep a can of lubricant. I probably should get silicone lubricant instead of this, but it helps with some of the things in the camper. I also like to keep a can of flat black enamel, so if I happen to see some exposed wood, metal on some of these things on the camper, I can hit that to avoid any rust. Let me show you my electrical box. So inside my Craftsman box here, these are so handy and they fit so well in storage. You can get these at Lowe's, and they're just really a great item to have. I keep an extra long, I think it's a 50-foot electrical cord. I keep my chocks. I have 4. I usually only use 2. I have my 110 dog bone, which I don't use very often. I do use it in our storage unit just to keep things ready. I also have my cable, so if we go to a campsite where we have cable available, I have that there. I also have an extra 25-foot 30-amp extension, which I use more often than not. This stays in here along with my surge protector goes in there. So this is our electrical box. It fits right in here, and it's easy to get to, and it's something that I just pull out, and when I'm ready to go, basically, I love these things, by the way. They're available. You can't get them online. You have to get them at Lowe's. And see, it's these nice little handles, and it just fits great right in there inside the storage area. It's a perfect size. I think this is the 10-gallon, but again, I'll try to put some links for you, either on this or on my website. All right, here we are on the water side of the camper. I'd like to share with you a little bit about how we do our setup. As you can see, I bought this. I bought a brand of the supports for your black tank hose that I did not like. It did not work well. It broke, and I got a refund on it. And I bought these. This all stacks up on top of one another. And again, I think it's available on our website or in our link where you can actually see it. But it works perfect. You can see I've got 2 hoses hooked up, and it actually works well. It keeps the right angle. They're staggered in size from tallest to smallest, and it works really well. We have a really good black tank hose that we use, and I'll show you where I store it in just a moment. You can also see I use the Flex water hose. That is extremely handy. I've got to figure out a way though. If you look at this connector here, I'm getting some I don't know what that is, but I need to get some, I think vinegar and baking soda will get rid of that. I use the really good water filters, and I hook my filters up like this with an elbow, as you can see, like that 90-degree elbow, so it doesn't put pressure on the water connection. And I also use, on this side, I use a, just to make sure that I don't have too much water pressure coming into the camper, I use that. And I love this right here, this little splitter. I use the splitter because this is my black tank hose. It's not contaminated in any way, so it's not really a problem. But I do keep it up because if it gets too hot, sometimes I can wet the camper, especially the slide, because it helps to kind of cool things off a little bit. Also on this side, I have a really great surge protector, model 44260 from Southwire. That's worked out really well, and it's really good surge protector. It's 30 amp, of course. As you can see, I use my extension electrical cord versus the one. Abbey actually has one that stows inside. I'm sorry, on the water side of storage. You can see I have like a little teak wood shower stand. That came in handy when we were at the beach. It's just a piece of teak wood that we bought on Amazon, and basically it allows you to use your outside shower and keep your feet off the ground. And I love it. It's just so handy at the beach. For us, it helped us keep your shoes near it, and so we keep that in there in case we go to the beach or we go to the lake and we need something to kind of do that. So this is where the Thetford Titan light tank holder sits in. It's just this great little container. We love it, and it works really well. Okay, so this is our water storage container. It's 10 gallon. Here's the thing that maybe I'm wrong in doing this, but I love using these. These are the extra large Ziploc storage bags, Grand Sacks. And we use those, a couple things I'll show you. We use those because it's a great thing to store your water hose in. It keeps water outside of your storage box. It also just kind of keeps it clean, so we use that. Here are the RV Marine water filters that we use. Get these on Amazon. We had a different brand, and we bought these. It's made by Camco, great price, and we use it, and we got one extra just in case. So we gotta keep two just in case, because you never know. In here, in a plastic bag, is our Restmo water meter, I guess is what we call it. But it allows us to know how many gallons of water that we're actually putting inside Abbey when we're traveling, because usually when we take a trip of more than one day, if we're going to be on the road for more than one day or more than 6 hours, we want water. So if we stop at a rest stop or something, we have water to use the bathroom or wash our hands or fix a meal. So we'll try to put a link on this too. This is a great one. We bought one before and it didn't last very long. This one so far has done well, and I think keeping it in plastic helps the electronics. This little Tupperware box that you see here is where I keep all of my water connectors, like the elbow and the water regulator and the splitter all go in here. It just helps keep it clean. Yeah, it works pretty well. Still a cheap thing. Also keep extra washers, and I keep plumber's tape in here too in case I need. Last but not least are these really cool grip gloves. Now you never know when you need, to loosen up, water hose ends or something. It just kind of gives you an extra grip. I like those. They're not used when I do the black tank, of course, because I don't want to cross-contaminate stuff. So, all right, let's take a look at the black tank storage. Let me show you the storage side too. In here, we keep our laundry basket underneath the bed, and we have an extra blanket. And you can see, we just got tons of room that we never use in here. There's just tons of storage. But we keep a laundry basket there, so I just lift the bed and put all the dirty clothes in. We also keep our suitcase in there when we're traveling on long trips. So this thing's got tons of storage. We love it. So one of the things we love about the Jayco 265 RLS is that we have this great little storage bin. It's not that deep, but man, you can fit a lot of stuff in it. And in here, a little junky, I apologize. Usually a little bit more neat than this, but we have an extra cover for our spare tire. We have a couple extra end caps in case we lose one of the end caps for our bumper. We don't put a black tank in it, a black tank hose in it. And then we have these nitro gloves. It's DRE Health. Available on Amazon. It's 100 medium nitrile gloves. I probably should get the large because the mediums are a little tight. But I usually, the first thing I do before I touch anything with the black tank is I use those nitrile gloves. Again, I use this big Ziploc bag. We have our end caps and our little black thing that you can put inside your sewage connection in case your twist top doesn't work. The end caps. Anyway, I just put my black tank in there. It's sealed, and it works really well. It keeps things clean. Put the end caps on, so there's no way that anything's going to come out. But rather than trying to put it in the bumper, I can just keep it in that. So it took us a long time to kind of figure out how to do some of this. We watched a lot of our friends on YouTube and some of their videos about things that you can do. We've pretty much got our setup down to about 30 minutes. Terry knows what she does on the inside. We use checklists. I'll be more than happy to share that with you. And so it just makes things a whole lot easier. So again, our setup's about 30 minutes and our takedown's about 30 minutes. We use the checklist that makes things so much easier.
Well, we sure hope you enjoyed this episode. All items are available on our website, ericterryadventures.com. Then click Recommended Products. Join us for our next 2 episodes where we will give you an outside and an inside tour of our Jayco Jayflight 265 RLS that we call Abbey. Please subscribe and hit that like button. We'll see you all real soon.